In the quiet, unassuming village of Turville in 1871, the ordinary world was about to fracture. 13-year-old Ellen Sadler, one of 11 children in a family etched by the hard labor of poverty, went to bed one evening. It was a simple act, repeated every night of her young life. But this time, when sleep took her, it refused to let go. Her slumber was not the peaceful rest of a child. It was a profound, impenetrable coma that would stretch from days into weeks, and from weeks into a silence that lasted for 9 long years. Imagine the scene in that cramped cottage, the initial maternal concern turning to frantic worry, then chilling into a numb, daily dread. The local doctor, faced with a girl whose pulse was steady, whose breathing was calm, but whose consciousness had been utterly erased, could only scratch his head in bafflement. There was no fever, no injury, no logical cause. Ellen had simply become a sleeping statue, a living ghost in her own bed. As months bled into the first year, the story began to leak out, seeping beyond the village boundaries like a strange and compelling rumor. It was a tale the Victorian press could not resist. The Sleeping Maid of Turville. Soon, the quiet lane to the Sadler cottage was choked with carriages, curiosity seekers, devout pilgrims believing it a miracle, and skeptical doctors from London all came to stand in the dim room and stare at the girl in the bed. She was lifted, examined, poked, and prodded. Theories erupted like weeds. She was in a state of hysterical catalepsy. She was possessed. She was a divine sign. The family, once mired in obscurity, was now at the center of a national spectacle. The very air around Ellen thickened with the weight of 1,000 gazes. Her mother, Anne, now had to manage not only a profoundly ill daughter, but a constant stream of visitors, some of whom left coins, transforming a personal tragedy into a macabre source of income. This, of course, bred the darkest of whispers. Was the girl being drugged? Was this an elaborate, monstrous fraud perpetrated by a desperate mother? A local policeman, convinced of foul play, even had Ellen moved to a workhouse infirmary for observation. But her condition did not change. The sleep persisted, an unyielding mystery. For 9 years, Ellen Sadler existed in that liminal space between life and death. She was fed a liquid diet of milk, broth, and port wine, spooned carefully into her mouth. She was turned in her bed to prevent bed sores. Her body, defying all medical logic, continued to grow and develop from a girl into a woman, all while her mind remained in a distant, unreachable country. What dreams, if any, played out behind her closed eyelids? Was there a sliver of her that was aware of the whispers, the examinations, the passage of seasons turning into years outside her window? The silence she offered was absolute. Then, in the spring of 1880, as suddenly as it had begun, the spell broke. Ellen Sadler opened her eyes. The world she returned to was 9 years older. Her awakening was as disorienting as her sleep. She believed herself to still be 13, confused by her own grown body and the changed faces of her younger siblings. The 9 years were a blank slate, a void of stolen time. She could recall nothing of her long slumber, no memories of the doctors or the pilgrims. She simply returned. But a mystery that ends so neatly is often hiding a darker truth. The official story was one of a miraculous awakening, but the whispers never fully died. The doctor who attended her final recovery was the same one who had been publicly accused of supplying the drugs that might have induced the sleep. Was her awakening truly natural, or was it a convenient end to a performance that had become too hotly scrutinized? We are left with a haunting, unanswerable question at the heart of this strange, true tale. Was Ellen Sadler the victim of a bizarre and still unknown medical condition, a human guinea pig in her own home, or a silent participant in a deception so grand it fooled an entire nation. Her story is a ghost story without a ghost, a mystery where the only witness remembers nothing. It's a chilling reminder that history is not just made of dates and battles, but of these deeply personal, unresolved enigmas that linger in the shadows, refusing to be neatly explained. If this journey into the silent, 9-year night of a forgotten girl has captivated you, then you have only seen a glimpse of the secrets we uncover. Our channel is a dedicated archive for stories just like this, tales of the strangest people, the most baffling inventions, and the civilizations that vanished without a trace. We dive deep into the archives to bring these forgotten echoes of the past back to life, crafting immersive documentaries for those who crave mysteries that history books have left behind. This is just one of dozens of untold stories waiting for you. Don't let them slip back into the shadows. Subscribe to Echoes of the Past now. Hit that notification bell and join our community of history detectives. Your next journey into the unknown is just one click away.